This is a short video of my latest off-road adventure. In January, I traveled to the New River Gorge area of West Virginia. I arrived at the river crossing just before dawn, and seeing all the ice formations surrounding me, I decided to wait until daylight to cross the river. I was traveling solo and didn't know what conditions I'd be facing. Once across, I traveled a Forest Service road cut into the mountains that followed the New River. The trail at lower elevations was mainly gravel with a little snow that you'll see eventually turn to a solid layer of ice the higher I went. With every adventure I take off-road, I gain more love for being out in nature. I believe we should protect what we have and leave no trace so that those behind us may enjoy the same views. For most of the trip, I could see the river below me, as well as railroad tracks cut right into the riverbank. I thought about the early pioneers who cut those tracks through the gorge, wondering if they appreciated the landscape as much as I was right then. Right here, if you look over my right fender, you can get a glimpse of the New River down in the gorge. By now, the trail had gotten pretty slick, and I already knew I was first and maybe the only traveler on it. Up ahead, I saw a tree had fallen onto the trail, and I knew I didn't have room to turn around. I saw vehicle tracks from a previous day had made it, so my real concern was making sure I didn't clip the tree and get punted off the icy trail down the side of the mountain. In case you're wondering, for tires I'm running Falken Wild Peak AT3W, and they've done a great job helping me keep the shiny side up and the rubber side down. So far, knock on wood. In fact, they've performed great so far in dirt, mud, gravel, over rocks, sand, snow, and they're quiet and comfortable on pavement too. Isn't this trail just beautiful? I felt the snow covering made it especially scenic, and the lack of foliage made it possible to see the river down below, which you can see again right here. I stopped here to take a closer look at the frozen waterfalls ahead. It gives me a chance to insert some photos I took along the trail, including these frozen cascades, this wooden bridge over a flowing creek, this creepy abandoned house, and this eerie windowless and padlocked church with what looks like a single burial site. Continuing further up, it got steeper and icier. It was about this point I began to wonder if the reason nobody else was out here was because they knew something I didn't. So long as I had traction and kept momentum, I shouldn't have to worry about sliding backwards. But hey, the trees would break my fall, right? Eventually I peeked out at what seemed to be the top of the trail before making my way down to lower elevation. I can't say enough how beautiful and scenic I felt this trail was, covered with snow, the frozen water cascades, rock faces, and mountainside views of the New River down below. At lower elevations, the layer of ice and snow dissipated, uncovering once again the gravel Forest Service road underneath. To the right, you can see the New River again, and a glimpse of the bridge I'll use to eventually get back to the other side. But wait, there's more. I got back on the interstate for a few miles, which led to this exit, which led to this country road up the side of another mountain, which led to another Forest Service road, which led to this snow-covered trail. You gotta love Gaia GPS and Onyx off-road trail maps. A little searching, you can always find some cool places to go venture off-road. I also use AllTrails, iOverlander, and Trails Off-Road apps. Since I was wheeling solo again this day, I wasn't looking for anything too extreme. To be honest, I was aching to fly the drone, and you can't do that in any national forest or park. This nearby trail system looked like the perfect spot to get some airtime. A little bit of fresh snow was no problem for the Falcons, and I ultimately found a stretch of trail deep enough in the forest that I hoped I could capture some cool footage of the area. I'm an amateur drone pilot, so I do this just for fun. It's illuminating to throw the drone up and get a bird's eye view of where I am in relation to what I see on the ground. This area of West Virginia is not very mountainous, but still offered a spectacular panorama that I don't get from my second floor office in Marion, Indiana. I especially love the perspective looking straight down through the trees. I just think that's so cool. The orange stripe on my roof are a pair of MaxTrax vehicle recovery boards, which I can use to help get unstuck in snow, mud, or sand without using a winch. As I head for the exit, I am proud to confess the real purpose for this trip wasn't to do some mild wheeling 500 miles from home. Remember my son Nick, Julia, and Evie from my last video? I was heading to North Carolina to attend their beautiful wedding. Welcome to the family, Julia and Evie. I've said it before, but I don't say it enough. I'm happy for you, Nick, and I'm very proud of you, son. I wish you and your new family the best as you serve and sacrifice for our country as an Army combat medic at your next duty station at Fort Carson in Colorado.